Happy Sunday morning to you. I'm here to have a tete-a-tete with you all about astrology. I was just having my tea this morning and I was thinking about this film I watched last night on Netflix about a girl who disappeared on a boat. Her name was Amy Bradley. It's a very good documentary, worth watching. And I was thinking, had they known astrology, they would have been able to really avoid a lot of this. And also they would have been able to know where to really put their focus in finding her because you could tell right away. I pulled up her birth chart. I didn't have a time for her, but I just put the day up and then I put the time that she was noticed as missing at that moment. And I put that chart to her birth chart as pretty clear that she was sexually, there was sexual crime involved. And there was crime involved. Definitely, you can see that. So it was sad to me that they didn't have astrology. And then I thought the golden era was golden because they had astrology. And I was thinking about all my studies I've been doing lately. I've been studying the ancient Egyptian holy men, the high priests, who started the sacred science of astrology and how it was how they had studied and how they learned. They didn't invent astrology. They showed us the astrology. They gave us the understanding of it because astro means the stars and logic means the knowledge of or the logic of or the understanding of it. So they knew that 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 there was some sort of influence, and they were studying and every day observing, writing for thousands of years. And these men were considered holy men because they followed the information and knowledge that they were learning. And so they were really, really fully connected men to the cosmos, to the universe. So they were high priests and priestesses. I'm sure there were women there too. And a lot of what they got or channeled, they also channeled as they were doing it. And so this was the ancient knowledge that the Christians wanted to hide because what these holy men knew, and it was indigenous wisdom that was passed on generation to generation for thousands of years, was the understanding of the occult. And the occult just means the unknown, the unseen, which they knew the material realm was entirely spiritual and as a result of something going on in the energetic field, unseen. And so, which was being manipulated by the stars or the planets or the solar system. Mostly the solar system, they say. They say Marcus Aurelius, who wrote the book Astronomica, says that it matters not where the stars are, but where the solar is, because everything happens with that sun. That sun triggers all the shifts mostly. If you really study the transits in astrology, you'll see the sun and the moon knock that big transit into effect. The slower planets, those transits take a while, and that the day of those transits are hard to really predict anything occurring because it's like Saturn is like almost a year transit. So if it's going retrograde like it will be right now on this 1 degree of Aries, maybe not a year, but a long time, it's going to be in retrograde for 5 months, and then it's going to come back at this degree point. So it's really rubbing something in here in our psyche or in our that part of our chart, that early degree. And plus all the nodes are like this. When the nodes are like that, all the planets are on one side of the nodes. And when all the planets are on one side of the nodes, um, it's as though the North Node and South Node are saying, nope, you cannot go further. No one's going anywhere till we all get on the same page collectively. So, anyway, back to these holy men that were truly awakened because they knew that reality was not the truth, that the ethereal, the unseen energy field was more the truth, and that this is just the result of the unseen realm. And that understanding the unseen and the forces that are manipulating the unseen realm, which is really science in their mind, this was sacred science, was to understand that would be to understand all that one needed to understand, basically. So these holy men made it their mission to make sure that everybody knew this information. This is the sacred knowledge, the hidden knowledge that the Rosicrucianists knew and that the Christians buried. as much as they could, but the writings continued because there were many, many writers at that time who wrote many, many books and wanted to preserve this knowledge of these ancient priests that had handed down. But then Christianity came in and blew all that away. So that lineage got disrupted. So these men wrote about it and wanted to, like Marcus Aurelius in his book Astronomica, he's basically speaking with these indigenous wisdom people that had passed down this ancient wisdom, this knowledge. And so this wisdom then was preserved in these writings. And then when you get to like the Renaissance and the 1515 era, the you're getting these the secret societies knew about this knowledge and they preserved it, and Shakespeare was one of them, and they're called the Rosicrucianists. Now, yes, there was the Illuminati or the other type of um, secret societies. They know this information. They just do. They know the secret knowledge, and the Rosicrucianists, like Shakespeare and Leonardo da Vinci, were constantly trying to tell us. So this knowledge is resurfacing now as mainstream because we're entering into the age of spirituality and the age of knowledge of the light. Because we're going to now, we're waking up. Those men, those wisdom keepers, those ancient priests were living guided. They were living guided lives, at spiritually guided lives, and they were really living the ultimate living experience. And they were extremely awakened to the truth. And so we're moving into that again because that's the golden era. We're ascending out of the dark era and into the golden era, which is the dark area is lack of light, lack of God. The Vedics literally call it no Krishna, like no God. So now we're coming into the light, which is literally like all God. So we're going to be waking up to the unseen realm, the forces that are in the unseen realm, the spirit guides, the angels that are there. Many think the angels built the Tartarian, all those amazing buildings that we have no explanation of how they were built, that are all over the world. So we're going to wake up to the power of the unseen forces in the realm and the higher realm and the angels that are up there to assist us that we have not looked at because we've been in the dark ages, we're focusing on the material gods. It's the worship of false gods, which is like presidents, actors, spiritual, the material priests and things like that, like man. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start worshiping deities that are in the light that are not material, the angels, because if you look at some of those ancient buildings, those big churches that are really, in my opinion, not built by the Romans or the Christians, but depends on what you're looking at here as far as as far as history, let's put it that way. They have angels all over them. So in my opinion, they're honoring and thanking the angels, which I think that's where we're coming to. So we have that big transit today. I'll go ahead and pop the chart. We have a big transit today of this south node. People are in it literally right now. Like this is the apex of the struggle because we've got this big conjunction happening right now. You see all the planets are on this one side. So they're protecting, they're saying, no, we're not going forward till we're in alignment. And now we're going to have in a couple of days, it's going to take a couple of days. We're going to, oh, actually, wait a minute. Is that tomorrow? Do we jump it tomorrow? Mars jumps over tomorrow. Yes. Oh, no, wait, that's Monday. Oh, yeah, yep, yep. Okay, so we're really going to feel things possibly as soon as tomorrow. When we break that Karma Sutra line, you can really feel it, especially if it's aspecting your chart directly. So, um, so what happens when you have the South Node and Mars together is we're letting go of a material. I'm really seeing this. We're really letting go of something that we would have been very uptight about in the past, or things that we would have been really, shall we say, preoccupied about or nervous about or tight about, and we're really letting go. I'm seeing this with my clients where they're usually triggered in something that's usually will bring them down and they're laughing about it right now. It's like we're just okay, whatever. It's fine. Like I don't care anymore. Well, it's not like not caring. It's that I'm going to care about my north node. That's where we're going to shift to, which is the spiritual. This is we're letting go of the material. I have this in my chart. I have a very spiritual. That's how you know someone's really here to walk a very spiritual path and not have any material. I mean, whenever, not any attachments. I've got a south, my Mars is conjoined the south node in my chart. So I know to just release an attachment, release attachment, release attachment. So we're going to be releasing that right now. Even bigger, it's louder. You know, this is always the journey anyways, but now we're going to really be um, we're going to be doing it in some tangible way that we can actually see it because it's going to be material, Virgo's material, and then we're going to release it. We're going to let go. We're going to go spiritual in some way, wherever that north node is in our house, in our chart, whatever house it's in. So anything that's scary happening, like if you feel like, you know, some kind of a loss is showing up or you're ending, a lot of people are ending really. I was walking down the street the other day and I see this woman on the phone crying. And I know she's probably ending a relationship. So a lot of relationships are going through their true colors, as it were, and being let go of, you know, because we see the nodes are doing this, which means we can't go forward till we let go of these things that are not in alignment with our true destiny. So that's literally what's happening right now. So if you're going through this and you're having a hard time, I understand that it is not easy. But whatever you're going through and letting go of is so that you can open up a block in your life. It's blocking your life. So we're going through this so we can let go of these things that are so we stop blocking what we can now start going forward to do. If you're in the wrong relationship, you've got to get out of it because then you're going to be in the right one because your soul contract is coming up. Most people's soul contracts are coming up and it involves a true partner. So you got to release anyone that's not because it's causing a block. And it painful and hard. That's why astrology helps because we can see why this is happening. And then we see around the corner and we know something better is around the corner. But we attach to things when we don't know what's around the corner. Like, you know, hoarders hold on to stuff because they think they'll never get a chance. You hold on to an old pan because you don't think you'll ever have the money to buy a new pan. So you hold on to all your old pans. And that blocks your abundance, by the way. I watch a feng shui channel and anything that's old and funky and just like we're holding on to is literally blocking our luck. So we have to see this feng shui setting here and behind me. So, you know, there's truth to all of that because objects hold energy. So when we get rid of them, we release that energy. So I hope this was a enjoyable tete-a-tete about things that are happening here, the energies and the current astrology, and a little bit on the history of astrology. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.